lack of credibility and accountability of Manitoba's NDP government.
Great.
3 years ago, the NDP said the whole concept of raising the PST was ridiculous. A year ago, they were the champions of the ridiculous, and they raised the PST. 3 years ago, this NDP government said it would deliver a multi-year funding arrangement for universities. After 1 year, they reneged on this promise. And this year, they decided the whole idea they championed in 2011 was ridiculous. So they brought in legislation to erase it from the books. In 2012, this government brought in an annual budget just to throw it out the window as they gleefully spent $100 million more than they budgeted. They did this again in 2013, marking the 14th ridiculous year in a row of overspending and being unaccountable in keeping their budget commitments. Mr. Speaker, we're living in a province with ongoing crises because of this government. We have a crisis in childcare. Too many Manitoba children start their lives at the wrong end of a long waiting list. We have a crisis in child and family services. 10 times as many children are in care as in most jurisdictions. We have a crisis in health care. The government is spending millions of public dollars to pay fines for its own poor performance instead of for improving health care. We have a crisis in education. PISA scores are plummeting. The Lake Winnipeg crisis has continued, and only today, after 14 years, has the government started to address it. After 14 years of mismanagement, we have an infrastructure crisis with more potholes than ever. Manitoba has a crisis in an NDP government that lacks credibility and accountability. Mr. Speaker, Liberals will continue to fight the uphill battle with this government to rebuild our province. We will continue to fight for accountability and transparency because Manitoba needs to leave behind this unaccountable, unreliable, and to use their own term, ridiculous NDP government. In fact, they should resign.